In 1817, a Tennessee family claimed something entered their home. At first, it scratched at the walls. Then, it moved across the floor at night. And then, it began to speak. It called them by name. It repeated private conversations no outsider should have heard. It mocked them from the darkness. And according to witnesses, it would not leave. This is one of the most famous hauntings in American history. This is Case File 001, The Bell Witch. The Bell family lived near the Red River settlement in Tennessee in the early 1800s. This was frontier country. Fields, woods, isolation, and long nights. John Bell, his wife Lucy, and their children were considered respectable members of the small settler community. Nothing about the family suggested they would soon become part of an American legend. Then, John Bell saw something strange in a cornfield. A creature with the body of a dog and the head of a rabbit. The thing vanished, but not long after, the disturbances began. At night, the family heard knocking on the walls, scratching sounds under the bed, chains dragging across the floor. Children woke screaming. Candles burned low while sounds moved through dark rooms that no one wanted to enter. At first, they told themselves it was an animal, but then it became clear. It was something else. The noises grew bolder. Blankets were yanked from beds, pillows got thrown across the room. Hair was pulled while people slept. The Bell children claimed unseen hands slapped and pinched them in the night. And things only got worse when the voice arrived. At first it whispered, too faint to understand, but it grew clearer. Neighbors later claimed the unseen presence could quote scripture, carry on conversations, sing hymns, answer questions, and expose family secrets. Imagine sitting in candlelight while a voice in the room knows things about you that no stranger should know. That's what the Bell family claimed, and they gave the voice a woman's name, Kate. But no one agreed on what Kate was. A spirit, a demon, or a fraud. One person received the worst of Kate's attacks, John Bell. The entity seemed to hate him. It cursed him, threatened him, physically attacked him. Witnesses claimed he was struck, slapped, and tormented for years. And as these attacks continued, John Bell's health declined, and the haunting only intensified. Kate had moved beyond a private family terror, become a public spectacle, and it got the name, the Bell Witch. Neighbors visited to hear the voice. Travelers came to witness the Bell Witch for themselves. And in a young America filled with superstition, religion, and fear of the unknown, the legend spread fast. Then came the story that transformed the haunting forever. According to legend, future U.S. President Andrew Jackson heard of the Bell family troubles and decided to visit. He arrived with men and a wagon. But before reaching the house, the wagon suddenly stopped. No matter how hard the horses pulled, it would not move. Jackson, already a decorated soldier who'd fought in the War of 1812, supposedly declared, "I would rather fight the British again than face the Bell Witch." Moments later, an unseen voice invited him and his men forward, and the wagon rolled freely. The story might be embellished, might be folklore added later, but it became one of the most repeated Bell Witch claims of all, because once a famous name enters a haunting, well, the legend becomes harder to kill. In 1820, John Bell's condition worsened. He struggled to speak, to swallow, to rise from bed. Then one morning, a small vial of strange liquid was reportedly found near his medicine. The family claimed that the witch confessed that it had poisoned him. Soon after, John Bell was dead, and the voice celebrated. Whether any of that happened exactly as reported is impossible to verify now. But this was when the story crossed from a typical haunting into fuel for horror stories for decades to come. Because after John Bell's death, the disturbances reportedly faded. The entity claimed it would leave, but return years later. Some said it did. Others said it never truly left the region at all. And soon stories spread of footsteps in empty halls, voices in fields, and strange sounds coming from a cave near the old Bell property. And like many legends, the less hard evidence that was found, the stronger the story became. So, what really was the Bell Witch? Let's dig into the file. Some historians point towards disputes involving a local woman named Kate Batts. She had business conflicts with John Bell. So, was the witch really just a malicious rival that got transformed by rumor? It would explain the name the family gave it, Kate. But it wouldn't explain the voice or the years of stories. Still, legends often grow from ordinary roots. Could a member of the Bell family or one of their neighbors have staged events? Could they have hidden in the dark and whispered, moved furniture around the house at night, exaggerated stories just to get attention? It's possible. But the haunting lasted for years. A wide-scale hoax would have taken significant coordination and commitment. That brings us to Theory 3, mass belief. In an isolated frontier, fear spreads easily. One unexplained sound quickly becomes 10. Rumors get restated as fact. This has happened many times before. It's how we get moments in history like the witch trials. But of course, some people believe the Bell Witch was exactly what witnesses claimed. An intelligent presence with a hatred for one particular family. Whatever the truth is behind the Bell Witch haunting, people still talk about it over 200 years later. So why this particular haunting? Well, the simplest explanation is that it contains so many ingredients of enduring horror. A family trapped in their own home, an invisible enemy, a voice in the dark, public witnesses, a mysterious death, and one of the oldest fears of all. Something enters your house, the place you're supposed to feel safe, and refuses to leave. Whether fraud, folklore, hysteria, or haunting, the Bell Witch became one of America's most famous ghost stories. And like all powerful legends, it survives because no single explanation can fully kill it. This was Case File 001, The Bell Witch. New files open every Friday on Adjunct Horror.